is working, and we continue with such strikes. We are now focused on attacking the regime's ability to command and control, as well as their ability to coordinate their attacks. We will continue to use all necessary measures as authorized in the United Nations legal mandate until all of the conditions set for a peaceful resolution are met. That concludes today's operational update, and Juana and I will be happy to take questions.
In Brussels, here in The Guardian.
Wing Commander Ian Traynor from The Guardian. There have been calls quite recently from senior alliance officers saying that basically the concentration on military targets is insufficient to have the necessary impact on the regime, and that the targeting should be widened to infrastructure targets. First of all, I'd just like to ask it whether NATO is hearing this recommendation and what its response is, and B, we also have reports about the Interior Ministry in Tripoli being attacked, and whether that might be part of a changing strategy. Thank you.
Ian, thank you very much. It's a very pertinent question. First of all, the United Nations mandate is to protect civilians at all time. And we're doing that with care and precision, unlike the regime, which is systematically attacking civilians using human shields. Sir David Richards makes clear the campaign is a significant success for NATO, and we are maintaining a high operational tempo and seeing results on the ground. This isn't a purely military solution, but it is clear that the time is up for Gaddafi. And I'll come back to Juana in a minute to cover any further on that. As for the piece you referred to as the Interior Ministry, what I do know is that as part of NATO's strike package into Tripoli last night, the United Kingdom hit a number of NATO targets. Royal Navy Tomahawk missiles and Royal Air Force Tornado aircraft hit a command and control facility and a military training base. Now, NATO doesn't disclose individual targets or contributions from nations, but if you want to get more details about those particular sorties, if you can refer back to London and the Ministry of Defence, I'm sure they'll give you more. Oana, would you like to take anything further on the question about NATO?
It's clear, as Mike said, that the targets are an operational secret. As you know, we don't go into operational details, but we can assure you that each and every target we have hit is a military target, and we are keeping up a high operational tempo. As you've heard, almost 7,000 sorties in just over 6 weeks, and we are seeing the results on the ground. We have been hitting, as you can see from today's operational update, command and control centers. We've been hitting ammunition sites, bunkers, and critical targets, critical objectives that are playing a role in the command and control of attacks on the civilian population. David, Reuters.
Well, yeah, David Brunstrom from Reuters. Just to follow up on that previous question, does that mean then, in fact, that you are not going to extend the campaign to non-military targets, the infrastructure which was referred to by the British General?
Obviously, David, we are continuously reviewing our operations to adapt to changing circumstances on the ground. FT Deutschland.
I would also add, it's quite close. David?
It's a question. You said you want to focus more, or want to focus on command and control centers. How do you define a command and control center? Is it, let's say, any point from which the dictator Gaddafi has a connection to his troop? Would you define that as a command and control center too? Yes or no? Thanks.
Affirmative. If the mission is being... Oana, shall I take that question?
As we said, Klaus, obviously we don't go into operational details. What we are hitting are clearly military targets. We do not target any specific individuals. That has been made repeatedly clear, and I can say that once again here, we are not targeting specific individuals. We